Well, welcome to Let's Talk, where we get to talk about things, especially weight loss and my journey, and hopefully I can help you on your journey too, or if you're deciding to lose weight. You know, our last video we talked about a memorial I went to about an 18-year-old kid who passed away from a motorcycle accident. He had his whole life in front of him. Well, you have your whole life in front of you too right now. His is gone and over, but yours is still here, and you need to make the best of it. As far as I'm doing great. I'm still doing my diet. I've been on it since April and doing fantastic at it. I made the sacrifice. I know that sounds like a bad choice of words, but really it wasn't a sacrifice. It was a lifestyle change. I gave up the stuff that really wasn't healthy, that wasn't any good for you, like the chips, the cookies, the snack cakes. I mean, all of that is no good. There's an old saying in moderation. Now, it's okay once in a while to have something like that in moderation. But to make a steady diet of it, and let's face it, society makes it easy to get. I mean, growing up when I was a child, you didn't have things like that. You didn't have access to potato chips all the time, cookies, snack cakes, unhealthy stuff. Things weren't just like that because it just wasn't available. But our food producers have decided that it's easier to make big money off of cheap, non-healthy items than the stuff that we need to produce to make us healthy. When I was a child, one of my favorite things to eat was at my grandma's house was grapes. She had huge grapevines, and that was one of my favorite things to go out and do. And she always used to criticize me because she'd say, now stop eating all the grapes or you don't get any jelly. So I did. Till one time she caught me. I thought I was buried deep enough inside the grapevines that she couldn't see me, but my feet were sticking out. But that was the thing then. Today you don't see them pushing the natural stuff like the fruits and the vegetables as much. Now, if you watch TV, especially commercials, you see it for cereals, which are sugar-laden breakfast items such as pastries. You see all kinds of stuff that you know is not healthy, but they push it on you. When was the last time you saw a commercial for apples, for bananas, for celery? You haven't. But you'll see it for the latest and greatest fast food items, won't you? I mean, what do they push? You see the items that are so sugar-laden, so heavy carb-laden, unbelievable, that no wonder half of America is obese. And a lot of the kids today are obese. I mean, a majority. I think that last thing I heard was it was up in the 60 percentile range of kids today are obese. Well, why wouldn't it be? Candy bars, snack chips. I mean, when I was a kid growing up, the biggest thing that we loved to have was peanuts. Peanuts was big for us because you could buy them really, really cheap, and guess what? They were healthy for you. Another thing that was healthy that we ate as kids, and we ate popcorn. And that wasn't an every night deal. It was like a Saturday night deal. And we didn't have a lot of carb heavy laden meals either. What we usually had stuff that was extremely healthy. Our meats, our vegetables, And bread would be at the dinner table, but it wasn't a big thing. If you would sit down, like for supper, we would have like pork chops, and we would have, mom would make some boiled potatoes and some green beans and stuff like that. Well, 9 times out of 10, by the time you ate the pork chops, you were full. So, but today they push on you all the highly ultra processed foods. I mean, I just saw an ad the other day, and it showed kids going to school holding these snack things with the crackers and the ham and the cheese. And I'm thinking, what? So it can make you popular in school that you're going to eat something that is very unhealthy? I mean, because let's face it, it's ultra processed meat and heavy laden crackers, and including also, it had cookies in it. And that's the healthy stuff. So let's take a look at how our childhood focused us. Well, growing up, things got a little faster. I remember in high school, things were speeding up. You know, the parents still had a lot of working moms, not as much then as they are today. And school lunches were a lot healthier too. I mean, we didn't have, like some school lunches today, push out burgers, pizza, hot dogs every day. I mean, we had salads too that was available. But today's kids are just funneled with all this stuff. I mean, unbelievable what's being thrown at them. And as parents today, I'll see parents get in there and they'll make a normal dinner for her husband and them, or some other, but for the child, they'll make macaroni and cheese, which is nothing but pure carbs. A child needs to be made to sit down and eat a basic meal that consists of the meats, vegetables, and stuff. They may get mad and they may not want to do it, but guess what? Hunger wins out every time. You know, you got your fried chicken, you got your, I mean, it's amazing what we had as kids, and it was very fulfilling. We had fried chicken, we had pot roast, we had, like I said, pork chops, we had all kinds of stuff, tenderloin. Once in a while, we would have steak on Friday night. One weekend, every Saturday night, mom would make spaghetti. And that was it. Most of the time, it was always a very abundant and healthy meal choice that we had. Now, I'm saying this as a reason. How we dictate things as child, what they eat, is what they're going to be eating when they get older. And if all you want to do is give your kids the macaroni and cheese, the stuff that is unhealthy, chicken nuggets and throwing stuff at like that, and pizza all the time, and hot dogs, and I witnessed one time at a picnic that the child sat there and ate nothing but potato chips and cookies for his meal. And I knew right then and there that kid was not going to be healthy. So we sit down and we plan our meals the way we used to eat. And it can be very easy. I mean, if you really think about it. And people are saying, well, what about the cost and all this? Believe it or not, you can take some meat and stretch it. For instance, you can take a pound of ground beef and you can make a chili with it and stretch it with a lot of beans and a lot of tomato soup and a lot of tomato juice and stuff, and make a chili. Chili is very healthy. It's got beans for protein. You got your hamburger, and you got your onions and stuff that you put in it. And that's very good for you. So just a little bit of it, you can stretch it. You know, you can take pieces of beef and you can cut it down and stretch it too, like a beef stew. You could take a hunk of roast chop it up, and you can stretch that beef stew out for quite a while. So, see, there are ways you can do this. I myself, I have a balanced meal. Like I said, I've started this diet in April of this year, and here we're heading toward October. And I'm amazed that I have no cravings for any of that stuff. Nothing. To me, food is just that. It is something that keeps me going. And I look at life a lot differently now. And I feel better too because of it. And as the months progress, I will get better and better. I've trained my body back the way it used to be, and it should be. So just focus on these three principles. What you put in is what you put out. If you put junk in, you're going to get junk out, and don't expect your body to behave well. So, the basic three principles: input, output, and results. If you put in good, it comes out good, you're going to have good results. So, that's the whole simple thing. Being in computers and stuff, that I've worked on computers for 30 some years, we have a thing called BIOS, basic input outputs. And that's the same thing as with us, our human being. What we put in is what we put out. That's it. If you put in good stuff, you're going to get good stuff out of your body, and you're going to feel better. Your skin complexion, your hair, your whole outlook on life, your memory, your mind is going to be so much better. So, count what you do. Now, to lose weight, you're probably saying, okay, do I need to count calories? Yes, you do. But you also need to count your carbs. Carbs are the most dangerous thing that you can eat because it's easy to convert to fat. Now, make sure you have some fiber in your diet as well, because that helps burn the calories too. So, sit down, and this is what I want you to do for the first 30 days. Create a meal plan and write it down each day of what you eat. And at the end of 30 days, go back and look and see what you ate and see where you can make changes. I'll bet you'll find out there's a lot of changes. And then when you start the diet the next following month, you're going to say, okay, I don't need that. I don't need that. And you know what? Things are going to be a lot different. A lot different. And you'll find out the cravings go away, because if you eat a high protein, low carb diet, everything seems to change. Your hunger goes away, you're fuller longer, you feel better, your whole outlook on life is so much better. So just make these changes, and I will guarantee you, you will see a difference in your whole outlook, mentally and physically. You know, because life is a struggle, and I know things in your life can happen, and we're all one of these people, a creature of habits. We let things get to us. Stress eating is one of the biggest things I've heard, and I was one of them, and I can vouch for that. But when you make the change and you do it properly, you will see a major change in your life. So just think of that. Remember, the journey begins with a single step. So are you willing to take that step today? I hope so. So just remember that, okay? Life is what it is, and we got to make changes. And my grandmother always said it best: life is what you make of it. If you don't like it, you make alterations. Very simple. No matter what the struggle, there's always hope. And you can find it right here. Thanks for joining me on Let's Talk. I'll talk to you again. And don't forget to like and subscribe.